Hey, what's up, boys and girls? Thank you for tuning in. Today, I want to talk to you about something very important, especially if you're thinking about getting into the housing market and selling your home. We need to talk about home value and appraisals. So, before we start getting into the nitty gritty of home values, you have to understand how the market works, right? So, this is important because you're going to be hiring someone to represent you in this market. And if they do a good job, you're going to sell your home. If they don't do a good job, you might be up for a little bit of disappointment. So, let's talk about value. What determines the value of your home? Well, first, it's basically how much somebody's willing to pay for your house, right? It doesn't matter what you think, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks, it matters what the buyer thinks, right? And if this buyer thinks your home is the best, guess what? They're going to be willing to pay as much as possible if they have cash, right? Now, how many of us have two, three, four, $500,000 just laying around to buy a home? I would venture to say that not too many of us, right? So what are they going to do? They're going to get a mortgage, right? So they're going to borrow the money. Now we have a third party that's interested in the value of your home. So when somebody asks what determines the price of a home, it's the person willing to buy it, and then if they're getting a mortgage, the bank that's going to be financing that. That's how you determine what a home is worth. However, there's some other stuff that you need to do, some math, right? You have to go and you have to compare apples to apples. Nothing can ruin somebody's day worse than somebody, an agent, not doing what they're supposed to do. For instance, if you live in Alamo Heights and you want to sell your home, then as your agent, I'm going to have to find homes that are similar to yours in the same neighborhood. Now that's very important because if you live in a neighborhood and you go across maybe a busy street into another neighborhood, everything changes, right? The home builders change, the values change, all of that changes. So you need to know and understand that when somebody is looking for the value of your home, they are looking for it in your community. Once you go outside that community, guess what? All deals are off, or all bets are off, excuse me. So that's the first thing you want to do. You want to compare apples to apples. The second thing is you want to compare the likeness of your home to others that have sold. And you don't want to go too far back. 3 months, especially in this market, is good enough. So you go back 3 months, and let's say your home is a 2,400 square foot home. I'm going to have to compare it to something in the range of 2,400, right? I can't compare it to a 1,500 square foot home because they're going to be totally different values. The second thing is, if it's a 2-story, I can't compare that to a 1-story. Totally different animals, right? So we need to find the homes that have sold in the last 3 months in your neighborhood that are almost the same. That's where you get your value. Now, there's some sellers out there that are told, well, you put in a new AC or you put in a new roof, so that increases your value. I hate to break it to you, nobody's going to buy a home with an old roof or an old HVAC system. So it's a good idea to do those things. However, it's not necessarily going to increase the value compared to the other homes that it's sold in your neighborhood. So buyer or seller beware, right? Agents can tell you whatever they want, but you need to know the truth, right? So that's the second thing, is you want to make sure that you're comparing, again, apples to apples. If your home has hardwood floors, but everything that's sold around there has carpet, well, your home's value might increase slightly, right? But you're not going to get a return for your investment dollar for dollar. There are some formulas. I'm not an appraiser. That's a question we got to ask an appraiser, but these are the general rules for you. So let's talk about, again, what creates value, what a buyer's willing to pay, what the mortgage company is willing to loan, and they're going to determine that by hiring an appraiser to compare your home to all the homes around it that have sold. Now, there's 3 types of home sales, right? The ones that have sold, the ones that are pending, and then the ones that are for sale. Let me explain that just a little bit and we'll move forward. Sold basically tells you the past. this is what has happened in the market in the past. Pending will tell you what's happening today, right? So if your agent is looking for comps, comparable homes, then they need to call those agents that are pending, which is the current day, right? And find out what they're going to sell for, right? Don't be lazy. Do your homework. And then the last one is what's on the market, what is for sale, what's available. That is not an indication of how much your home is worth, because guess what? We're trying to tell the future, right? So never count those for your comparables. But it gives you a good idea of what the market is doing, and it gives you a good idea of where to place your home as far as pricing goes. Now, it does matter. Guess what? If something is for sale, let's say for instance, you go and buy a stock, right? Let's buy maybe Coca-Cola. And I don't know where Coca-Cola sits right now. I really don't care because I don't have stock in Coca-Cola. But let's say that the going rate is $230 a share. You can't go in there and bargain and go, oh, I'll give you 150. That's insane. Don't do that, right? As opposed to also Coca-Cola can be like, hey, I want $500 a share, because it's not worth that money. All right. Well, hopefully I've cleared up some things for you. And if you're looking to get into the market and you want to go a little bit deeper into this, I'd love to talk to you. Like, this is what I do. My wife even tells me, that's all you talk about. But I'm a bore. I'm probably a bore, right? But anyway, if you want information about the housing market, about your current home, about selling, buying, investing, anything to do with real estate, I'm all ears. All right? No pun intended. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, drop them down below in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and just interact with me. All right? We'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Till next time.